Yo, guys, I hope you're well. So, guys, today starts 4 days of celebration to commemorate the 80th anniversary of VE Day. So, VE Day, for those who don't know, is Victory in Europe Day, which marked the end of the war in Europe, the 1939-45 Second World War. Although we do have to remember that the war was also fought in Africa and it carried on in Asia for another couple of months or so before VJ Day. So, guys, we just want to thank and to commemorate all of those serving men and women and the families and the children and everyone who was involved in the Second World War and involved in fighting for and to maintain our freedoms. So, all those serving men and women who lost their lives, who gave their lives, who gave absolute courage, their limbs, their health, and their well being to defend a way of life that many of us have taken for granted until quite recently, because we have someone at the helm of our government who it seems doesn't like the fact that we are free and we are free to think and free to say how we feel. So we've got a person in Keir Starmer who wants to rule us with the jackboot, and it's not a great feeling. But if we remember the people of 80 years ago who were celebrating being free from war, free from the Axis powers, free to rebuild the country, free to build a future for their children and a future for their children's children, which we today have taken for granted. That is what the Second World War was all about. It was about maintaining the freedoms, which, if Britain and all the other allied countries had lost. So I have to also say that we're celebrating in Poland, in Germany, in France, and in other regions over the next 4 days as well. But guys, we just have to remember that we can't take anything for granted, because the moment you start to take things for granted, those areas and those things we take for granted will be snatched away from us. And that is the sad thing. So, guys, over the next 4 days, let us make certain that we praise those people and we remember those people who fought for and died for us to give us a chance of freedom and a future to live in. But let us be aware that if we take our eyes off the ball, that the future freedoms for our children and our children's children will be stolen from us. We cannot allow that to happen. So, guys, make certain that we say thank you. And I say a massive thank you to all of those serving men and women who paid the ultimate sacrifice and gave up their lives to make certain that we have a freedom and a future today. But we need to make certain that we still campaign and to make certain that we have our freedoms here today. Because if we don't, our freedoms will be taken away. So, guys, thank you so much for everyone who gave everything between 1939 and 1945. Because without any of you doing what you did and giving the ultimate sacrifice, none of us would be here today. Or it would be a very different future that we're living in. Anyway, guys, that's all I wanted to say, just to make certain that we enjoy and we look after everyone and we see the fly past and we commemorate all of the great things that happen. And just to be aware that we need to unite rather than to divide. Remember that, guys. Let's unite rather than divide, because united we stand strong, divided we will fall apart. So enjoy the VE celebrations over the next 4 days. And yeah, let's just think about those who went and came before us. Guys, make certain you look after yourselves, you look after each other, and you celebrate VE Day over the next 4 days. Take care of yourselves.